Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, We perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the Gulf South
To your corner of the world.
This is DX Central Live.
Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Daylight Saving Time. Welcome to almost spring. And welcome to It's Not Getting Dark at like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock anymore. Pretty happy about that. From a general standpoint, from a DX standpoint on AM, it's not great, but hey, it just means FM is around the corner, and I'm all about that. You guys know I'm pretty happy about that as well. So, as you probably saw, 8 episodes left for this season. We're going to be wrapping up season 2 on May 1st, the evening of May 1st. And kind of ending this second season of DX Central Live. I got some things I'm already kind of planning out and wanting to do for season 3, which I would like to get started sometime in September this coming year as we kind of try to coincide it with the start of the DX season, which was my plan this year, and then a move bumped into it, and we ended up leaving Charleston for Mandeville, so that kind of delayed things a bit. So yeah, we're here for 8 more episodes for this season, and then we'll probably be kind of periodically jumping in during the summer if we can. I'm gonna try to test out doing some live FM DX. I'm very nervous about it just because of copyright standpoint, because they play a lot more, music and things like that on FM. And I got my only copyright strike that's happened on the channel here so far was from an FM DX live stream that I did last year. All the others have been like, little, copyright claims, which is basically saying, if I was monetizing, which I'm not currently, the video, then the money would go to the copyright artist of the songs that are played, not to me, which is fine. But I got a strike, and those are those things where they say you're going against community guidelines or whatever. So I got a hit. You get one more of those, and you're in trouble. Basically, I got a warning on that one. So after that, things start kind of progressing very quickly, and you can never monetize after that, and all these other kind of repercussions. So I'm trying to be very, very cautious here about doing live streaming for FMDX because I don't want to see the channel go away just because we were trying to do something cool. So I'm still looking into some options as far as that goes, what I want to do for FM season, if there's anything I can do to kind of still do a live stream but not, put the channel at risk. So, but anyway, we're doing live AMDX tonight. Hopefully you guys have had a lot of fun on 693 to 783 kilohertz. I've had a blast. I've got several new ones here in the logbook. 3 new ones at least, when I'm chasing a couple others that I didn't have in the logbook before. So you know what that means. If you have logged a new station, a new state, or a new country, throw it in the chat, let us know, and we're going to celebrate here a little bit later on all the folks that got new stuff this week. So new log stations, new log states, new log countries this week, let us know in the chat, and we'll throw it in there and let you know. We'll celebrate, rather, and make sure we all have a good time and pat each other on the back for our success. This week, we are powered by something a little lighter than our usual. Now, you would have thought, being almost St. Patrick's Day, I would have had a Guinness, and I do have one. I might have that in an hour or two, but I'm also doing the Carlsberg this week, which kind of still seems fitting. It's a Danish beer, but it's green, right? So it still seems kind of fitting to have the Carlsberg And I used to go to an Irish pub, and they used to serve it on draft, and it was amazing. That's when I actually fell in love with Carlsberg back in the day. All right, so obviously we got some live DX to do tonight, and we're going to announce our new frequency challenge for the next week's challenge for week 17. We will be wrapping up the challenge series for season 2 on May 1st as well. I'm not one of those that says AMDX is dead in the summertime. It's harder, right? Because of static crashes from lightning and the noise levels and everything else. It's harder, yeah, but you hear stuff during the summertime you can hear no other time of the year. So I still DX a lot during the summertime. I just don't think a frequency challenge type scenario is as much fun for folks in the summertime. I think it's going to be a little bit better to do it during the DX season. So we'll wrap that up on May 1st as well. All right, so we're about to dive in here to some live AM DX. You guys know the drill. We got the Perseus set up here with the Jaguar software. Over here on the north-south antenna right now, it's facing towards the south. We've got the Elad FDM S3 with 2 CAS antennas, the northeast, northwest, both antennas in the northern configuration there, which is helping us to do some cool stuff. We got vactrol on all of those except for the northeast, southwest one. The northwest, southeast, and the north-south both have CAS vactrols on those, so we're using those to kind of help us with directionality. Of course, this hour of AMDX is brought to you by the good folks at the National Radio Club. NationalRadioClub.org is the website you want to go to for more information about becoming a member of the NRC and being able to partake of all the cool stuff as far as like subscribing to DDX News, both the online or the kind of electronic version and the print version, which I have a nice stack of up here, getting discounts on publications from the NRC, like the NRC AM radio log and so forth. So if you're not a member of the NRC, I highly recommend that you become one as soon as possible so you can reap all of those great rewards. All right, we are about 10 seconds away from entering our usual top of the hour time frame, which is our fun way of saying get ready. IDs are going to be flying here. We're going to start off though looking for something on 760 kilohertz instead of US. We're going to be chasing a Mexican station I was trying to hear this week and just didn't have time to really chase after. So we're going to start there, but we'll also kind of backtrack and do some other stuff as well. So let's go red. It's top of the hour time. Sound the alarm bells. We are going red and we are looking for IDs. And let's start here looking down into to our south here from Louisiana, looking for Mexico here on 760. Should be pretty easy. I just haven't had time to really do much with it. Looking at the totals so far for this week, you guys are bringing it. We're seeing some really good DX coming in. So, some really good logs. And again, if you have something new you've heard this week, stations logged, states, countries, let us know over in the chat, and we'll be celebrating together. So do I, Rick. I'm actually kind of surprised I haven't heard them here yet. I'm very surprised I haven't gotten San Antonio yet from Mandeville. I don't know how I've missed that one, but here we are. Hey, Alan, we log everything we hear. So on every frequency, any stations you can hear, there's a couple in here right now. If we're able to suss out who those different stations are, then we'll log every one of those. That's kind of how the challenge works on this one. It's based on what you've heard over the course of this week, and then you're trying to log at least one on every frequency if you can. But the more the merrier. I have, I think, 4 or 5 this week on 770. So Mike says if you hear rooster crows here at the top of the hour, you've got a good shot at a Mexican station here, XEZZ, which is awesome. We're going to listen for that. And I think I have a couple of Spanish stations in here. There could be a Progresso in here. There's a Progresso outlet right on this kind of tip of the island, just to my southeast. There's our RCN outlet in Colombia here we could be hearing. XEABC here is the most commonly heard Mexican station on this frequency, and that's the one I'm trying to add in for the challenge this week. Because I've been spending my time elsewhere on the band and didn't have time to really look at that one. I'll be sure to put the link here in the Google chat for everybody who's needing the form. You guys can still submit logs. We're doing that up until 0200 UTC now with daylight saving time. There's our link. Hey, Keegan. Welcome as always. Let's take a look and see if that's parallel 640. Yep. That's what I thought. Okay. Let's go back a little bit here. I want to get this top of the hour. So we've got Progresso in here. Which is new. Heard Colombia in there, RSPdx. I think that is one we already have here, but not this week. No, it's not. There's a new one there too. Wow. a couple I need to put on my list here. And we had XEABC, yeah. That's 1, 2, 3 we got to put on the form. All right. Let's go put these on here real quick. Hadn't really spent a lot of time on this frequency this week. I was chasing some other things here. There we go. There's one.
Una cosa es contar la historia y otra repetirla.
There's two. And three.
family of self-sufficient, standards that our precinct strives to pay as that company. While there is proposed legislation to help ignite the labor force, we need to understand more about the challenges in the job market today. No one better to help us do that than the new CEO of the Small Business Association of Michigan, Brian Callen. Brian joins me and Gary Brisson next on this edition of
I've struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating,
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
so I did my research and
All
talked
right.
to a doctor, and we finally
So I got all three of those added to the list for this week's challenge, which is awesome. How are we looking? Bad connection, huh? It's getting better. Okay. I think we had a bad connection there for a second, guys. So it's still kind of in there. So bear with me. It's not looking like it's, well, maybe it's not. Are you guys getting any choppiness or anything like that on the stream here? Because it was showing me red like it was a bad connection, but I don't know. The other the other thingy here that measures my connection says it's actually a really good one. So, okay. Anyway, so there's 3 new ones for the challenge, and a couple of those were actually new for us. The Cuban, the Radio Progresso, I had not heard that one here in Mandeville yet, and the RCN out of Columbia had not heard that here in Mandeville yet either. But happy about that. Heard them in Charleston, but didn't hear them here. So there's a couple that we've added this week. So that's always fun. So we're going to celebrate that here in a bit. We're going to do a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be back into some live AMDX, and we're going to get ready for hour number 2 of live DX and our next medium wave frequency challenge for week 17. So stay tuned. More DX Central Live is coming right up.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News Member Bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teaguepublishing.com for more information. That's teaguepublishing.com. From the pages of its DX Monitor Member Bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AMDX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AMDXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana. We had a great week this week on 693 to 783. We even had somebody log a station in Japan on 774. I did see that, which was awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and spoiler alert, this one broke our record for mileage. We have a new mileage record now for our medium wave frequency challenge, and it was at the Japan station. I'm not going to tell you who it was or how far it was. You'll have to wait for the recap this week for that. But we did break our all-time mileage record here on DX Central's medium wave frequency challenge with that one. So always exciting. Don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. That way you can be notified when we do post new videos here on the channel as well. We try to do that pretty often. I'm working on several right now. I am hoping to have some more air checks coming up here soon, things like that. That way, my goal is that I have air checks of all 50 states. That's one goal that I'm working on right now. I want to have air checks from all 50 states that I have received with my own equipment. Not that I've gone online and found or anything like that. I want to DX it myself with my gear, my antenna, and get all 50 states in the U.S. I'm taking a business trip here to the upper Midwest sometime in April. And with that, I'm hoping to get up into some Canadian provinces up in there and some of the states up there that I'm missing a couple of air checks from. So really, really excited to do that. So I always bring my AirSpy HF Plus Discovery with me, my portable W6 LVP loop, and I set that up in the hotel room, and I set up a schedule for it to record, whether it's sunrise, sunset, or whatever, right? Or some overnight stuff, maybe a little bit of daytime as well, even. And I try to get as many air checks as I can. And then I just start posting those up on my band scans and things like that on the website and on the YouTube channel here. So be on the lookout for those. Speaking of the website, dxcentralonline.com is our website address. We have a lot of information there on how to DX or what DX is, things like that, recommendations, equipment reviews, propagation tips, things like that for both AM and FM DX. So make sure if you haven't checked it out, dxcentralonline.com, and would love to have you guys stop by there and check out some of the information. We have a glossary of commonly used DX terms. We have an abbreviation list, all kinds of stuff. I tried to make it something that would be helpful for seasoned and new DXers alike, but with an eye towards the newer folks, obviously, so we can, kind of give newer folks a chance to get acclimated and things like that. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. It's twitter.com/DXCentral. We always are posting whenever we're doing a DX session here. We're posting what we're hearing. We'll post when we put up air checks from YouTube. We'll post them there. I even put some there that I don't put anywhere else, honestly. And some other things that you'll see there on Twitter that you won't see anywhere else. So twitter.com/DXCentral. That's the Twitter feed, or I guess the Twitter handle, the Twitter account. There you go, account that you'll want to make sure you follow for all things AM and FM DX. And lately, a little bit of ham radio thrown in there because I've been having some fun doing some FT8 and some contesting and things like that. As a matter of fact, next month, hopefully this doesn't coincide with my business trip. I just kind of thought of that all of a sudden. We're supposed to have Louisiana QSO party coming up next month, and so I'm really hoping that I can be here with my microphone here, like I used to do in South Carolina, and do some ham radio that way. So, all right, enough jibber jabbing from me here. So I know a couple folks here have heard some new stuff this week, some new ones. So I'm going to go ahead for anyone. I've logged a couple of new ones here myself this week. Just did a couple of new ones just now here at the top of the hour, which is always fun. So for anyone who has logged a new station this week, again, feel free to drop that in the chat over here. Let us know if you logged a new station this week. So congrats to anyone who has. So there you go. Hopefully you guys were able to add some new ones this week. It's a tough span of the band, 693 to 783. There's so many dominant stations there in most of those, 750, 760, 770, 700, 720. These are, pretty much dominated by one station or two stations, with maybe a couple of Latin American stations if you're in the right region for that. But we still were giving it a good hearty look through there and found quite a bit, actually. I was surprised at how much. I've almost matched this week what I've heard since I've been here for those same frequencies. Since I moved to Mandeville and started DXing in October, I've almost matched. I'm only about 5 away from what I've heard this entire time, and I did that in 1 week. And I think 1 or 2 of those were because they were on when they shouldn't have been. And one of them was a local station that hasn't been on this week, KKNO down in Gretna on 750. I haven't heard them at all. Daytime, morning, afternoons. They're supposed to be there. They're not. That's 3 right there of the 5 that I'm missing, that I can tell you why I'm missing them. So, all right, let's do some more DX. Get back into it here. Again, we're being brought to you for this first hour by the National Radio Club. NationalRadioClub.org is the website you want to go to for more information about becoming a member, and I highly suggest that you do. We have our Perseus fired up here with the North-South CAS. We have our Elad FDM-S3 with the Northeast-Southwest and Northwest-Southeast antennas. As a matter of fact, let's go there now, because I want to show you how great these CAS antennas are at directionality. Hopefully it was kind of doing what we saw earlier tonight when I was kind of picking around a bit. And let's do 740 here.
School in Canada, did my undergrad and grad school in economics. But then I had the opportunity to start working at the IMF, at the International Monetary Fund.
Okay.
And it happened
So I think we've probably got Zoomer here on 740.
I had the opportunity to go into the Fiscal Affairs Department and work with two gentlemen that at the time were the World Authority.
And I think I've got Houston here, KTRH as well, maybe?
For oil and gas mining.
Or maybe...
Oops,
That's a greater accomplishment than going.
Well, I got different players, so I got to believe in Latin America.
No, strength of your convictions. You know how much you believe in what you believe in. And then make it work for your players. That's why I would rate Jackson, number 1.
And I went to Canada and worked in the private sector. I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers in their consulting practice, also advising both private sector clients and provincial and federal government on policy for...
All right, so let's see what we got here in the chat. As always, let us know what you're hearing in the chat. If you got a frequency you want us to go check out, especially one of those in the range, let us know. We'll pop in there and do some looking. Bill wants me to come up and see him in Michigan and help him put up a CAS. Would love to, man. Would love to, my friend. It's going to be a jam-packed business trip of client visits. So we'll see. I don't know. I think we're going to Nebraska. I think. I don't know where in Nebraska. I don't know. They haven't told me anything. They haven't told me the dates yet either. They just said Upper Midwest, April. Get ready. So there you go.
So much of that was Alabama's ability to help develop guys. And they've done better than they ever were. You're right. Listen, he made some executive moves. He certainly did that, improve that team, and that's not what the evaluation is.
Alan, so you'll just enter, every entry you're doing is a log. So if I'm on, like, let's say 740 and I hear a station, I fill out all my information, hit submit, then you can click another response, and then you can do all the ones you hear from another one, right? So every time you're entering on an entry form, you're entering one station on one frequency. And so every station that you hear, you're going to enter that way. There's reasons why we have to kind of do it that way for the post analysis after we close everything out to make everything kind of line up and everything. So I'm still looking at seeing if there's anything better we can do for next season, but right now Google Form is where we're at. So.
We understand that. But getting back to your rotor book about Kobe crashing, got Kobe back in the full thing out of buying one more time. Incredibly impressive. I think so. Jackson is the third best coach ever at 18. That's amazing. I understand what you're saying. But to me, the guys that were able to crash just through some talent, that's
and we expect to close 2020.
You and I see it differently. That doesn't mean that you're right or I'm wrong or vice versa. You like flexibility, I like determination. And I think Phil Joe, that's his way to do it was the best way to do it. He did it to a lot of
companies like
it's always a pleasure. Appreciate it. I appreciate this debate on the whole Popovich.
Appreciate you, Paladin. Appreciate you stopping by. Cheers to you for your first time stopping by. Appreciate you. Cheers, my friend. And Keegan, is what you're hearing in Arkansas either what we're hearing here, these two stations we're hearing right now on 740?
And yesterday with the mayor of Barranquilla, which is the third largest city in our country.
Because I haven't heard Tulsa this week. I've heard Zoomer, I've heard Montgomery, MSP,
which is going to be developed.
I think that's probably the sports talk station here. I've heard KTRH.
With an investment of about $1 billion.
Appreciate it, Wire Paladin. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate you.
From the analysis
either way, we
appreciate
you.
By the World Bank did that we have up to a 50 gigawatt potential in offshore wind in Colombia, the Caribbean coast. This is between, both shallow waters and deep waters, which obviously the technology will differ.
So you've got anywhere from 12 to 22%.
I'm pretty sure this talk right here, the dominant talk, is Zoomer. Although they were doing music earlier, they were doing their big band Sunday night. But I guess maybe they stopped that at the top of the hour. Has anyone got ears on Zoomer if they're doing this talk right now? That's my guess.
So we have this focus on
and I'm guessing, if I had to guess, the sports talk is probably Montgomery, Alabama, out of WMSP. Or not Montgomery, Madison, is it Madison? No, Montgomery, yeah.
Both solar and wind projects for the next 3 to 5 years. Our plans show us that we could have up to 4,500 megawatts in addition to what we already installed. And that would take us in the next 3 to 5 years to about 20 to 25% variable renewables. One thing that we haven't mentioned is that the Columbia power matrix is very clean to begin with, because about 2/3 to 70% of our power comes from large hydro.
Okay, so we got Boomer, or there's Zoomer rather,
traditional renewable, but still clean,
is doing music.
It's contributing to the fight against climate change that Colombia has joined. So I think.
So we do have something besides Zoomer. Zoomer was loud, super loud earlier on my Northeast wire, which is what we're on right now, my Northeast Southwest wire. They were super loud earlier with the big band Sunday night stuff. Got a really nice ID from them earlier.
For example, which is the drought period that comes every 2 or 3 years, and that puts a lot of stress into our system. So with wind and with solar, we can easily manage those situations. So I think, in the long term, about 20 to 25% of variable renewable energy sounds like a good number to our power future.
Well, thank you, Diego. We're going to take a quick break. We're listening to the OCXO Radio Show. We'll be right back.
SR Tribe is a proud sponsor of State of Energy 2022, coming to the Houston Club in downtown Houston on Thursday.
Okay, so there's KTRH. So yeah, Alan, I'll show you here. I'm gonna pre-fill out my, just in case we have KRMG here. So I put my email address in, My frequency, my date in UTC. Right now it's tomorrow. Time in UTC. Your period, we went, yeah, we're still within sunset here. So if I'm hearing KRMG, Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. These talk format, I put my programming notes in here. So like talk program. Obviously I'll fix this here in a second if they do ID. Mileage, I have a link there on the form for you for the mileage.
The relief you've been looking for from aching hips, knees, shoulders, lower back. The protocols at QC Kinetics were created by a physician with years of study in regenerative, restorative medicine. 713-913-5285. 713-913-5285.
Then your name, your city,
Weather, traffic, plus breaking news 24/7. This is News Radio 740 KTRH.
you don't have to put your radio and antenna in. I ask that you do.
He seems to be looking everywhere but in his own backyard. I'm Sally Adams, 8:30 on News Radio 740 KTRH with traffic and weather together. Here's William Shotwell.
There you go. That's filling it out. And then I would hit submit down here at the bottom. And then there's a link. Once you hit submit, that says submit another response. And that would be your next one. So you're just doing one frequent station per entry. And then that gives me this nice little spreadsheet here that it exports out with everybody's logs on it. And then I use that to pivot the pivot tables and make my weekly analysis.
It does come with a chance for scattered showers Monday night into Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Rachel Kay with the Weather Channel.
56 at the renewalbyanderson.com. 24-hour weather center. KTRH news time is 8:31. Our top story. President Biden announcing during his State of the Union address earlier this month that the U.S. would stop all imports.
I'm pretty sure that's MSP in Alabama, Montgomery. They were doing the Auburn game earlier, Auburn baseball. So, as a former radio station employee, I can tell you it's very easy for a board operator to forget to switch things off if you don't have an automation to do it.
At Jody McMahon, J-O-D-Y.
Especially like a Sunday night baseball game. I remember one time one of the stations I was at, our automation was not working, so I was going to have to go in and do it, flip off the transmitter or turn down the transmitter because we were doing power down at night. At this AM station I was on 680, and I was board opping a Braves baseball game that went into like extra innings. It was super late. I was super tired. I just wanted to go home so bad. Game was over, and I just left. I was like, boop, out. And then I got halfway home, and I realized I never turned down the power. So I had to turn back around, and I did. I turned back around, went back to the station, and turned off the power. But that's how these kinds of things can happen sometimes, especially when the automation is not working.
Yeah, we started the 2024 season when Tom Brady's been retired.
So that's why if this is Montgomery,
third year of retirement actually that's underway. Then I'll believe he's going to be retired.
they're supposed to be 230 watts at night. As loud as they are, I think there's a good shot that they're probably over that.
He has 41 days later. God's making it sound like, oh, Jody,
let's do another one here. Let's do another frequency. One of my favorites this week. I spent a lot of time on 730 this week. Here we've got XEX in Mexico City. W Deportes. Learned that this week, that in Mexico they say W. And pretty much everywhere else they say W. Like Cuba, I know it says W. So thank you, Mike, in Mexico, our friend here on the live stream tonight, for teaching us that one. All right. So Keegan, was that Oklahoma State? Was Tulsa running sports? I didn't think they were sports. Sports only, at least. I thought they were news talk. So is that them running the CBS Sports Radio?
Minutos de tiempo corrido, 0-0 Santos y Xolos. No nos gusta pensar en que puede ocurrir un accidente. Sin embargo, puede suceder en cualquier momento.
I'm assuming this is XCX in Mexico City, but if I go over here with my vactrol, watch what happens.
Tener que empeñar o cambiar su estilo de vida. Protégete con un seguro BBVA, porque tenerlo te puede cambiar la vida y te permitirá no sacrificar nada.
They're super hard to get rid of now.
Adelante. Ahora Loroña, afuera del área, puede sacar el disparo, va con Ruiz, ¿quién saca?
I can't even get rid of them. Even on my northwest-southeast wire, which has them basically in the null because it's going like this and they're down here, using my vactrol, I still can't get rid of them.
Que queda, si no, fue a Leo Suárez, que queda tendido en el terreno de juego y incluso se levanta cojeando Leo Suárez, pero el árbitro no considera que sea de tarjeta de amonestación y va a continuar la acción.
This is my northeast southwest. Let's see if we can phase them out with our phaser. There we go. Phased him out. Got a U.S. sports station in here now. And this could be a couple of different places. Most likely it's West Memphis, Arkansas, is my guess. KQPN. Pretty sure that's West Memphis. Nope. That is WUMP, the UMP, in Huntsville. I did hear the UMP in there, actually, now that I think back to it. And I think that is a new one. We got a new one, y'all. The UMP. That was at 24/7. They at night are... Oh, no. That's Madison. That's Madison. I've already got them, actually. Yep. Already got them. Dang. The fact that they said Huntsville online threw me off. I wasn't looking at my list up here on the Perseus on Jaguar. I wasn't looking at it, and so I missed that it's Madison, not Huntsville. Grrr. Hey, you know, we nulled out XCX. We had a pest in there with XCX that was dominating the frequency, and let me show you as a reminder what that sounds like. Okay, super loud. Use my phaser to come over and get rid of them entirely. Got completely rid of them. There's sounds like a music station there, possibly country. Maybe. Do you know how hard that is to stuff those back in the box, Mike? That is extremely hard to stuff that back down in the box. So we are about 20 minutes away from top of the hour, and this will be when I announce the new frequency. I'm going to keep open the challenge up through 0300 UTC. I'd forgotten last week to accommodate for daylight saving time. I didn't realize we were that close to it. I guess I'd forgotten. So last week's challenge will go for another hour. We're going to start the new one though at 0200 UTC. So here in about 20 minutes or so, we'll announce the new frequency. I'll send out the new Google form link and let you guys have a shot at start collecting new logs on a new frequency. We're going to do one frequency this week. And if you were paying attention last week, you already know what it is. If you have good memory, you already know what it is. So if you remember it from last week, don't say it. But otherwise, if you don't remember what I said last week, put your guesses in the chat. Would love to know what you guys think we're going to have for this week. For this week's frequency. But if you do remember what I said last week, shh. All right, let's see. We got 730. We looked at 760. We looked at 740. Let's go do another look at 770. No. You know what I want to try? Screw that. 720. I've been chasing some stuff here on 720 for a while now. And primary among those, I want Nevada so freaking bad. All right, so there's the northwest wire. We've got some nice electrical line noise. There's something on there. The northeast, dominated by WG in Chicago. But who's this? I've been hearing this off and on. I've not been able to catch an ID out of them yet. They always kind of fade out at the top of the hour. I've got a religious station in here right now. It sounds like a female talking religious. My guess, if I had to, is going to be RZN in Hernando, Florida. The Shepherd. That's my guess. That's who I have here. 250 watts. Let's swing it over to the Perseus north-south wire here and see if we have it over here too. Because if we do, that's pretty telling. Oh, Neil, come on. Maybe, maybe not. Ha What if it doesn't? If you can't get transoceanic this week, you're going to be screwed. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to alienate everybody. Oh, WGST. What were they used to be? Rick, I forget. Hogansville. Oh, it's gonna bug me. I've got it in my deck. NXY, that's what they used to be. Hey, Dwayne, is this what I've got here, the female? Is this Hernando? I'm guessing it probably is. The Shepherd. There's a Progresso here. There's a couple of Mexican stations here. This is a frequency I really held out a lot of hope for this week. It turned out to be kind of rather of a dud, honestly. I don't even think I think I may have heard Universal City once with their Spanish preaching. We already did 1080. We already did. Look at that one. Yeah. Rick, back in the day, Pisgah Forest was just, as you might imagine, when I was in Brasstown, Pisgah Forest was huge. It made it hard to hear anything else on Sunrise Sunset for me on this freak. Let's check that web feed real quick. We're going to take a break here in a second, but let me just do 720 WRZ. And this used to be a daytime station for me, believe it or not. When I was in Charleston, I could hear these guys daytime. The Shepherd. Let's pull up there. This site cannot be reached. Sure. Listen live. Shepherd. I guess that would be considered Ocala, or is that Gainesville? It's Gainesville.
I realized at some point, I bet.
Yep, that's her. That's her. And that's a new one for us here in Mandeville. That makes up for the Madison, Alabama debacle a few moments ago. So get the pin back out. They are 250 watts. And it is 24. Yay! I have only heard 5 stations on this frequency lifetime. This is one of my worst frequencies. 650 and 720. I want Nevada so bad I can taste it. All right. So let's go ahead. Again, I'm going to keep the week 15, 16, whatever week we're in now. The 693 is 783. I'm going to keep this week 16. I'm going to keep this week's Google form open for another hour and 10 minutes or so. When we come back from this quick break, I'm going to have a new form ready for us for our new week. Week 17 with a new frequency, so stay tuned. New frequency at the top of the hour to go with it coming up.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From the pages of its DX Monitor member bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AMDX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AMDXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teaguepublishing.com for more information. That's teaguepublishing.com. Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News member bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios in Mandeville, Louisiana. Every Sunday night, 1945 Central Daylight Time, 0045 UTC Monday morning. For tonight, and then 7 more weeks after that. And then we're going to wrap up season 2 and move on to some FMDX for the summer and some other projects we'll be working on for the channel and for the brand, for DX Central overall. And then we'll be getting ready to ramp up season 3 before you know it. Next DX season's just around the corner, guys. I know it's March. It's middle of March. But guess what? August is like that. I mean, we're going to be eating hot dogs and having a beer for July 4th before you know it. And then it's August, and then get your goals ready. It's time for AMDX season. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're wrapping up from our end here on the live stream the 693 to 783 week 16 from the frequency challenge. I'm gonna keep it open for another hour or so on the Google form. I'll put that up here in a few moments again on the chat here. That way you guys can still submit your loggings from this week on that Google form. But we're moving on to week 17 now. I can't believe it's already week 17. Week 17 of the frequency challenge. And I have got us a doozy this week. This was requested by some folks last week. We were talking on the live stream about this frequency, about some of the stuff that was available to us that we were trying to hear. There were some Canadians there. There's some Mexicans there. There's some other stuff there as well. Some different stuff during the daytime. In fact, that old station I used to work at now is on this frequency. When I used to be in North Carolina, my midday cafe, as it was called, was on a station that is now on 540. So we're going to... I just gave it away, didn't I? Damn it. We're going to 540. Oh, well. I just kind of goofed that one, didn't I? We're going to 540 this week, folks. We're going to see what we can hear down low on the low end of the band and have some fun. But it's top of the hour time, so let's go ahead and get ready for that. Before we do, this hour of AMDX is brought to you by... International Radio Club of America, IRCAonline.org. That's where you want to go for more information about becoming a member. So, our frequency of the week for week 17 is 540 kilohertz, as I kind of just threw out there. So, now let's go over here and see what we've got. I'm guessing here on our north-south antenna that right now is in the southern configuration. We're going to be looking at Mexico. Whoa. I hear French. I'm hearing French in there. Maybe not, man. That might be that's Spanish. Never mind. I thought it was French. It sounded very for a second. We've got a nice het here, which has been pretty constant for a while. 539.8580. 8580. I'm thinking that's Mexico. Nope. Nicaragua. My bad. That's Nicaragua. Radio Corporacion Nicaragua is reported at 539.86. So we should have some nice audio on them here for the top of the hour. While this is recording, meanwhile, we have our Elad FDM S3 over here on 540. we'll see what that is. I've got that also recording over here as well. Back to the Perseus and the north-south antenna. See if we can get an ID out of these guys in the head. I'm hoping this is Nicaragua. I'd like to add, I had them in Charleston, but not here yet. YNOW is the station call letters here. Trying to pull up their web stream now to see what we should be listening for here. Oh, I need to send out the new link. Sorry, guys. There's the new Google Forms link for everybody. Now they're not as loud as they were. It's this spike right here. So if you're looking here on the screen, this little spike right here, that's what I'm looking at for Nicaragua. Hey Carl, we are doing 540 for our new frequency of the week for week 17. So starting now, basically here at the top of the hour through this time next week, anything you hear on 540 is fair game. Just have the YouTube, or rather the Google form link up here. I'll put it back in the chat again in case you couldn't see it. And welcome, Carl. Nice to see you as always. It will be, yeah, it is, yeah. It is indeed. 540. I have not spent hardly any time on this frequency because I just assumed it would always be Mexico for me. But clearly, there's other stuff here, so I would love to explore. This would be my guess, and my friend down in Mexico, Mike, can help me confirm, is XEWA. Los 40. Yeah, I just heard that kind of off the offset there. To be careful here. I'm guessing this is one of those songs that could probably get me in trouble. So I'm going to try and talk over a little bit here. .029. There we go. I got him at 265. So we've got a nice, for those of you who are just joining or might have stepped away for a second, we're starting a new frequency of the week 17, and we're on 540 kilohertz. Wow, look how, are you seeing this Terminator? Here, the gray line Terminator. Look how it's almost straight up and down. We're very close to that spring equinox when it's going to be straight up and down. We're on 540 right now, chasing what is probably XEWA down in Mexico. Los 40. It's funny, Mike, you mentioned they don't give their call letters out very much. I remember back in the day, the 90s, it was XAW, like all the time. It was like, that's how they ID'd nonstop. XAW. That's, now I started learning the Mexican alphabet, was listening to these Mexican stations. Nicely done, Carl. Yeah, when you have these conditions like that with high solar flux, geomagnetic storms, we just had a nice coronal mass ejection heading Earthway, high frequency, above 6-7 megahertz. 7 starts getting a little bit probably, but the higher you go, the more it actually energizes the atmosphere for that. Down low, anything below 4 or 5, and that includes us on medium wave. All right, we're going to drop the Top of the hour alert. All right, so let's take a pause here for a second. And let's go back over to the Elad FDMS3 and see what we can hear on the other casts. Again, we're in our second hour of AMDX, and this hour is brought to you by the International Radio Club of America. IRCAOnline.org is where you want to go for more information about becoming a member, getting a subscription to the DX Monitor News Bulletin. If you're like me and you have access to hearing stations out of the country of Mexico, even just a little bit, I highly recommend the Mexican log. I got a copy of it sitting over here behind me on my printer over here that I just recently printed out, so I can put it in a 3-rig binder. Love that thing. Makes such a big difference. You can also do it, obviously, electronically as well. Let's see what we got here on 540 on the Elad. Let's start with the northwest southeast antenna. I've got some salsa sounding music. And my guess is this one here is going to be KMLB and Monroe. It's usually those two. Mexico, KMLB. That's it. That's all I've heard here. Actually, I take that back. I think I did pick up Iowa once. Yeah, I do. I have Fort Dodge. And during the day, I get ASG out of Alabama. That's what, 4 stations on this frequency? Not too bad. I'd love it to be more, though. I'm going to go get a refill on the old brew here. Be right back. All right. In honor of St. Patrick's Day, we've refilled and gotten my Guinness glass out. Twisted there. Got ourselves a pint of Guinness. Slain. Mike, that is the exact reason I picked 540 this week, is I want CBK bad. That is the exact reason, and Bill, I see you're also talking about it too. That's the exact reason I picked 540 this week, because I'm going to force myself to try for CBK. I'm going to also use this as an opportunity now that the sun is setting later to force myself to put the other loop antenna up in the air so I can now phase those two, because I haven't done that yet. So I've realized tonight I only have one more page left in my ARRL logbook, and then that's it. This one is cooked. This is when I started when I was in Charleston. I'm sorry, no, I started this in Greer, 2012. So 10 years ago, I started this logbook, and now I'm almost done with it. For my second one of these that I filled up. Joe, that is sacrilege. I don't do, well, no, I don't do green beer. And I don't, when I would go to the Irish pubs, they'd be like, you want me to put a little Irish shamrock in the phone? I'm like, no. Don't put Irish shamrock in my phone. I'm good. New Orleans is a low-key, fantastic St. Patrick's Day city. I mean, Savannah gets a lot of the Chicago, those two, and Boston, obviously. Those three cities get like all the attention, I feel like. But New Orleans is low-key a really, really good St. Patrick's Day city. There were some parades this weekend. You are too right, Joe. I'm thinking this is KMLB in Monroe. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was this one right there. That's what I want. If that's the only station other than XCWA, KMLB, maybe Nicaragua, if I can pull that ID out of the muck, that offset. If I hear nothing else this week except for CBK, that's a huge win.
It's truly unbelievable to watch what's going on. So now, Elizabeth Warren and Nancy Pelosi are saying that we got to go to more windmills. Russia invades the Ukraine, aggravating an ongoing global energy crisis. Gasoline prices increased 60 cents in the last
443 stations so far here in Mandeville since October 1st. Which is crazy because I did 592 the entire time I was in Charleston. So we're 150 away from tying what we did in Charleston, and we did that in 5 years. This is in October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months so far. As a matter of fact, you know what? In honor of St. Patrick's Day and our Irish friends and my Irish heritage, I have some Irish ancestry. Cheers to you, my friends. It's like Or Orlando. Or just heard FLF. So that's two that I know of that I have now. XCWA and Orlando. Most of mine is to Keegan on my mom's side. Irish and English. I'm not going to put the audio on just yet, but look at this. Look at that spike over here from Nicaragua at 539.86. Look at that. You know what? Actually, let's go over there. I mean, that's competing with look at that. That's competing with Mexico. And there's XCWA. You can see how close I am to them. I love a pint of Guinness with some spicy wings. Give me the spiciest wings I can get. A pint of Guinness. Ooh. Man, that's my stuff. And a little blue cheese with some nice crumbles in it for dipping. You got it. I don't do the ranch. Blue cheese, it's got to have some chunks in it. Some blue cheese crumbles in there. And you'll notice here, you see the little flag that says, it's going, now it's over there at the 850, now it's at the 9985, now it's at the 265, back to the 9985. Now it's staying there, now it's back to 265. That little flag, that's the strongest signal offset that it sees. Right now it's 8580, 886. So that Nicaraguan is really doing well. Oh, Joe, trust me, this week we'll be doing, I call them slammers. I don't like the other name. When you do the Baileys and the Guinness and the Baileys and the Jameson or the Irish whiskey, I use Tullamore Dew as my Irish whiskey of choice. We don't call them the other name here. We call them slammers, Irish slammers. I'll be doing quite a few of those this week. I love doing those. Not even just because it's like a party thing, just because I love the flavor. I love the way it tastes with all those kind of mixing together. I love it. I don't want to start a rumor that the guy that runs DX Central is a party guy, like a drunk or something. I'm not. I like the flavor. I like the way it tastes. I don't do tons of them this week, but I'll do enough. Just in case the folks are watching. I'm hoping this Nicaraguan's going to pop up enough for me to get some audio to hear them. This is the exact process that I used to grab my Peruvian on 1090, and it's not working for me right now. Although it did when I heard them back when I was in Charleston. I got this station doing the same method. I mean, you see my balloons, right, Bill? I mean, you know, the balloons should tell you everything you need to know. And there were some bottles in there. All right, let's go back over. We're approaching the bottom half of the hour now, so I want to take a look and see if we can hear an ID off of that talk station that we were hearing. So let's go back over. I'm guessing that's still Mexico. Keegan, until you take one down and pass it around, then it's 98. I've heard the song. Yep, that is definitely Mexico. Playing Miley Cyrus. Don't ask me how I know that song. Bill, you know me well. Now, Joe, I do like, we have a local stout at a local brewery here called the Irish Channel Stout, which might be the next thing I would go to if I'm going to keep going after this one. Much, much stronger. I like the stronger stouts, like 8, 9, and above. That's where I usually kind of reside. I like Guinness because it's easy. It can go down easy. You know, it's not. You can have quite a few and be social, but not. You know. And plus, when I used to do my gigs when I was a musician playing gigs, which I'm still a musician, but I just don't do gigs right now. You can drink these on stage. It kind of quench your thirst. And you wouldn't have to worry about getting sloppy. Loved it. David said he's got some FMDX to the far end of Putnam County, Tennessee, from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Nothing to write home about. Hey, that'll change soon, my friend. Tropo season is just around the corner for those of us who have some tropo condition opportunities available to them. especially here in the southeast. That Gulf moisture starts coming in this time of the year, and I'm right on the coast, so I'll be pretty early in it. Tropo season, and then obviously E-skip season's coming up, and that's one of the reasons I'll be ending season 2 there in May 1st for the live stream here, so I can switch my focus over to FMDX. And I'm gonna see if there's any options I can do to do FMDX where I'm not gonna like a live stream, but not get my hand slapped because of copyright. Maybe Ustream or one of those options. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what options I have available that I can use with my software here, so I'll take a look. So make sure you're following us on Twitter, because that's where I'll be announcing it. Also in some of the groups and things like that, because I cannot wait for FMDX season. I've got my Sony XDR F1 HD up here. I've got my Elad FDM S3 here with my 24 megahertz of bandwidth. Got my Yagi up. About to put up a second one probably this spring. I'm thinking about maybe trying a vertical out. I'm thinking about trying a vertical FM antenna out that I can put up on the top of my tree, like 40, 50 feet.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either.
Like a 5/8 wave or a half wave, maybe even a full wave, vertical up in the tree that I can just hike it up with some rope.
Rated #1 by a leading consumer research company. According to the facts, most of you won't even call unless there's a burglary in your neighborhood or something bad happens. So let's give you a reason. Saves money for less than $1 a day with no other cost.
Nicely done, Keegan. You're in that Tropo bullseye too in Arkansas.
Protection for your home. Call the home security hotline right now. 800-402-7117. 800-402-7117. 800-402-7117. Call right now. That's 800-402.
Yeah, I do FM list as well. I recommend everybody does. It helps all of us out. It is the absolute definition of like contributing to the community, because by doing your logs on FM list, it can help identify when there's an opening so that we all know, right?
Charlie did not die.
105.7.
Websites and social media selling fake medicines may look legitimate, but they're not.
He died in less than 15 minutes after taking the pill.
What was it?
Medication not purchased from a licensed
101.7.
could be deadly.
I think it's at 105.7. So that's definitely my KMLB here, local.
Pharmacy. Learn about fake medicine on social media and if an online pharmacy.
Yeah, last season was so good, Bill. It was every day. I couldn't keep up. I still got recordings to go back and review, including one that took me down to like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba. I haven't even had a chance to touch it hardly. I know there's some great stuff waiting for me. I just haven't had time.
One of those resources is the animated video legally without using a film. Their 18-year-old son sits to help the keyboard for it. I learned that if you're being bullied, you should definitely seek help, whether it be from a parent, a trusted friend, or somebody in school, the principal.
I'm pretty sure I'm 99.9%. This is KMLB out of Monroe, Louisiana that we're hearing right now. Alan, yes, I do. That's what I have up in the air right now, actually. My 4-element Stellar Labs. I'm hoping to find a second one that I can put out in the front yard. And I'm thinking about trying to get the RSP Duo. Is that what's called RSP Duo? That's got the 2, because you can actually do phasing, live phasing, FMDX phasing with that. If I can get a second Yagi up, Woo. But no, that's actually a really good antenna. I've been very impressed with it. I know some of the guys or folks are going to the Innov antennas over in England, which if I could afford one, I would do it, which I might do eventually. But I also want to try. I'm going to put up like a half wave, 5/8 wave, maybe a full wave, vertical, up into a tree about 50, 60 feet up, omnidirectional. Just let it just cook and see what it does. And I'm very excited to see what that can do. Oh, the 8-element, nice. I think, Bill, I'm going to be, depending on what part of Cali you're looking at, be right on the fringe of single hop from Cali. I was looking at my single hop distance. Let me see if I can actually find, I made a map of it. I put it up on Twitter here recently. Let me go back to I think I'm on Twitter. Can't find it. I put some maps up recently I'd made showing my distance. Here we go. All right, so I think we can talk some FMDX here. I think that's a valuable thing to do. So this first one here, this is my 1,500 mile single hop e-skip circle. So basically everything in here is within 1,500 miles for a single hop. So if we're looking at kind of a 1,500 miles being kind of like the edge, I guess, of single hop. You know, I've seen some 1,700 single hop before. But if we're looking at 1,500 kind of being the edge, this is what we're looking at here. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Maybe not. No, sure can't. Twitter is kind of funky like that. But you can see, I mean, it gives me pretty much everything in the continental U.S. Except for extreme west. Out into like Pacific Northwest, Northern California, like parts of Southern California. So I'm saying, like, if I can get a good single hop of 1,700, I'm into Cali. I'm into like San Diego, LA. But otherwise, this is kind of what I'm looking at here for like an average single hop. And then I think it was this next one. Let me go back in. I actually pulled, what was it I said? Probably a more realistic idea of single hop from Mandeville, 1,200 mile circle, and a 1,500 overlay on top. So the outer wider circle here is the 1,500. You can see, again, it gets me into extreme southeast Cali, into Nevada and so forth. And so here's the 1,200, which is kind of typical. I feel like single hop, usually, if you're going to get something, it's going to be something within this kind of window here. unless that MUF really starts driving up, in which case, if it starts getting into 2 meter bands and so forth, that skip's going to get a little bit shorter. So yeah, I think it's just depending on kind of what we're getting, but this is kind of my realistic kind of day in, day out on a typical E-skip day window here in this inner circle, with the outer circle being kind of what I'm expecting to see on like a really good single hop condition. So, you know, if we can get a double hop, that'd be great. I would love that. I know there's some guys getting like, you know, over to Europe last year, which was amazing because that had never happened before from the U.S. into Europe. It happened the other way, but not from us to over there. And then also some folks who are hearing down to like Colombia, like 2,000 some odd miles down into Colombia and in South America. So last season was just remarkable. I've been doing FMDX almost as long as I have AMDX, and I don't remember a season like last year. You know, I know there's been some really great seasons before, but last year was just stupendous, especially after how bad the year before was. I don't remember there being hardly any e-skip openings at all on FM the year before that I could catch. So, you know, what we were able to get was just remarkable. So I'm going to do a quick break. When we come back, we're going to start getting ready close to wrapping up here our live stream for tonight. Finishing up here on 540. Maybe see if we can catch an ID on WMLB here at 540. And if there's anything else we can grab here before we wrap up for tonight. So again, I'll put the link in the chat here on YouTube. That way you guys can put your logs in from 540 kilohertz. That's our frequency for the week for this week's frequency challenge. So I'll put that in there. That way you guys can start loading up. And then I'll, again, here in about 20 minutes or so, I'll close out the 693 to 783. So you still got some time to put logs in there if you still have some things you're wanting to put in, which I do have one I need to put in from Florida. Got to add in real quick. And yeah, we'll wrap up week 16 that way. And we're underway right now on week 17 as of I guess 9 o'clock Central Time, 0200 UTC. We are underway on 540 here. So we'll stay tuned. We'll be right back. We'll finish up this hour of DX just a few moments on DX Central Live.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From the pages of its DX Monitor member bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AMDX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AMDXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teaguepublishing.com for more information. That's teaguepublishing.com. Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News member bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana, it's DX Central Live. As we are kind of ramping down season 2, I guess, now that counting tonight's 8 episodes, so starting with next week at 7. We're wrapping up May 1st. Will be our last episode of season 2. So a little bittersweet there. It's nice that we're progressing here quite nicely and getting ready for season 3, which I've got some cool stuff. I have kind of ideas for next year, this next season rather. But also, sad to see it kind of end here this season because we've had such a great one here. In season 2. It's been a lot of fun. You guys have been so great to hang out with every Sunday night and Saturday night before we were doing on Saturday nights. Obviously with, about 8-7 episodes left, our focus has always kind of been here on Medium Wave DX during the season here because it's kind of what's in season. And as I said before, doing FM DX on live streaming is kind of hard because of copyright stuff, copyright strikes and things like that. But we will be talking about FMDX. Just so you know, I got some things in store that I'm working on for some of our kind of last episodes there in April, and maybe that last one there in May. Don't know. We'll see. But I want to do some stuff to kind of get us ready for FMDX season. So those of you who are FMDXers, I think you're going to really like some of the things that I've got coming up in here in April, as we get ready to kind of transition over from AMDX to FMDX is our kind of primary focus. I still AMDX throughout the year, all summer long. I said earlier, I'm not one of those people that thinks that AMDX is dead once you get to May. And now, thunderstorms are too bad, it's static, it's noisy, it's just put it away, you're not going to hear anything. Wrong. I've heard stuff in the summertime that I've never heard anywhere else. You get a different angle on sunset, sunrise that you don't have any other time of the year. You have different things with the way the atmosphere is kind of that D layer is breaking down and creating during the morning and breaking down at night. You get different things that happen. I'll never ever forget the night in the middle of July, a late one July night around midnight, listening to a Kansas City Royals baseball game wrap up on 1210 kilohertz, and it was not. I was in Brasstown, North Carolina at the time. It was not Philadelphia I was hearing on 1210. It was KOKK in Huron, South Dakota, just out of nowhere on a little portable radio sitting in my room on a bed. Heard Huron, South Dakota on 1210, a Panasonic BF R300, whatever. I forget the name of the BF300. I think was the B300. The big one. It was like a big old portable, big, huge guy. Heard Huron, South Dakota on that in the middle of the summertime when DX is supposed to be dead. So don't believe it. Don't believe the hype. I heard Kenya last year, summertime. I heard a lot of stuff down in the South America last year, summertime. Don't believe the hype. Summer is a great time for AMDX. We're just going to be shifting some focus for the primary focus over to FM. So, all right, we're going to go back over here to our frequency of the week. And again, for this hour of AMDX, we're brought to you by the International Radio Club of America. IRCAonline.org is the website you want to go to for more information about becoming a member. I highly recommend that you become a member of both clubs, actually. They're both economical. You get a lot of benefit for a little bit of money, and you learn a lot. I've learned and still do to this day. I every time I get my little print copy of the DX News or my email copy of the DX Monitor, I learn something just about every week that I open up a copy. So definitely make sure that you check it out. All right, let's do some more 540. That's our new frequency of the week. I'm going to go back to our Perseus here because look at that spike here on 539.850. I'm chasing Nicaragua here, guys, on the South Wire. So we think we might have a good shot at him. And it looks like everything else is kind of weakening off a little bit. So let's try them out. And yes, Rick, this was 93. It was Kansas City Royals back in the day. I don't know what they would do now, but back then, KOKK carried Kansas City Royals. I got the QSL up here in the cabinet to show for it. And somewhere, a tape of the ID. Somewhere. There you go. KOKK. Huron, South Dakota. Here's the envelope that they shipped it in. One of my all-time favorite QSLs. 94, not 93. Oh, we are about that time, aren't we, Bill? So, Carl, you bring up a very good point. We are still a few minutes early before we go top of the hour alert here. I'm green right now for St. Patrick's Day. We're all green. So, yes, let me give you a couple of resources. Carl, you bring up a very good question because we're an AM, FM, DX resource here. We're not just AM, we're also FM as well. So I'm going to show you guys some things here to kind of help out a bit. All right. So the first one I want to make sure that you know about is the Worldwide TV FM DX Association. I'm a huge supporter of the clubs. In AM, it's the NRC and IRCA in the U.S. On FM and TV, it's the WTFDA.org. So definitely make sure that you go here. Check them out. This is the website again. It's WTFDA.org, the Worldwide TV FM DX Association. Over here on the left-hand side, you have an FM database that you can use to search for stations by call sign, by frequency, by city, state, PI code when you're getting your RDSD code, format, language, all kinds of stuff. I use this constantly when I'm doing my DX. So WTFDA.org, fantastic resource for you. For FMDX. The other one that I'm a huge fan of, and I implore every one of you who will be doing any FMDX this year to make sure that you're using this, and I'll explain why in a second. It's FM list. So we have medium wave list, we have FM list. FM list gives us something that we really need, and I'll show you in a second. So you just want to log into your account. Once you create one over here on the side, it's laid out the same as FM list, or medium wave list, rather. You go over here, you say, I'm on 92.1 kilohertz, or megahertz, rather. And it gives you, based on your location, it gives you a list of what it thinks you're hearing based on the kind of propagation that you're telling it. Like right now I'm in local, I can say, hey, I'm in E-skip right now, and it's going to tell me what it thinks I'm hearing based off of E-skip and likelihood of probability. Now I can shift that to be different directions or whatever, but FM list is fantastic. And then you can actually, and here's where I'm imploring you to do this, you can see you'll have like your call sign, your city, your state, mileage. You have links to the web streams and everything. You've got your PI codes for your RDS, and along with any other RDS information that they can add in there. Here's where I'm asking, please, if you're an FMDXer, please do this, fmlist.org. When you hear a station, we're just going to pretend here for a second that I'm hearing WQQK here in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. I'm going to hit this little, right here, this link where it's the log link, and then I'd come over here and I'd say skip up at the top, and I'd fill all my details out or whatever. Why is that important? Because, let me show you why. There's actually a functionality here to build out an alert. You see this little green box right here? ESA is on. I get eSkip alerts sent to my email. So whenever there is an eSkip opening that is kind of covering over my location, basically my location is part of that circle, it sends me an email alert. And then it tells me how many different directions are being reported within that kind of circle. And you can actually see it. Let me show you here. FM propagation maps. Do 2022. Let me do 2021 actually and go back. You can actually see these. They call it the donut, and you actually see the circle that shows the eSkip opening. So then you can kind of determine what direction you think it's going to. A, you get the alert letting you know there's an opening. B, you get an idea based on where the donut is and your location within that of what direction you should be hearing. So if the donut's sitting over you, somebody over here in Tennessee is hearing down to Texas, and like I'm in Louisiana, I should be hearing across that donut up into like the upper Midwest. I actually have a video of it here on YouTube. Let me show you here. I know we're getting close to the top of the hour here. If you go to my YouTube channel and search, just go to my content here. Oops, wrong one. Got the wrong one. Sporadic. Oh, I got all my air checks. That's why I forgot about that. Let me show you. If you go to my playlist, it's called FMDX. Or you can just search it on the channel. Let me kick it back here to this summer. Where did I put it? It's on here, and I know we're gonna get to the top of the hour here in a second. This is an important thing to me. I think this is hugely important for all of us. I know I've skipped over it. I'm sure. Oh, wait. Yeah, I gotta go one more page. Here we go. FMDX General. There is a video here that I did last year that shows this, how to use FM lists. So I actually just do DX 101. It's under DX 101. Sorry, I could have gotten that much quicker. How to spot an eSkip opening on the FM band.
Google.
Okay, so go find this video on my YouTube channel, DX 101, how to spot an eSkip opening on the FM band. And you'll see what I'm talking about with this donut and how you can actually see it. I'll show you how to get the alert and how to use the donut to help you spot an eSkip opening. So WTFDA.org and fmlist.org. Those are the two websites you want to use. Carl and anyone else who's interested in FMDX. Now, let's go. It's the top of the hour alert, so let's go back and see if we can grab ourselves a little Nicaragua here before we end the night. So the Spanish station we're hearing right now that's kind of dominating is Mexico. It looks like we have a little bit of a fade down here from Nicaragua over here at 539.86. And I can actually either widen up, which I don't want to do, or tighten up my bandwidth here in Jaguar. Yeah, that's Mexico kind of dominating there. Nicaragua, you can see they're pretty much gone there. I wonder if they just signed off. I mean, that's kind of crazy for them to disappear entirely. I bet you they just signed off. Let's see if they have a schedule here. Doesn't say one, but I mean, you don't see that very often, where it just disappears. Oh, I think we're back. Yep, they're back. All right, Mexico's pretty strong. So we're going to keep an eye on this all week, because this is one I would definitely want to flush out and try to get Nicaragua, another station from Nicaragua, into the logbook. All right, so that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I think we've had a fun evening. Go have fun on 540 kilohertz. It's going to be a challenging frequency, I know, for a lot of folks, but stick with it. Sunset, sunrise, going to be your best friend here, as usual, on these frequencies. I really think you guys are going to want to spend a lot of time on sunset, sunrise, because once you get into the nighttime, you get what you got, right? It's going to be limited, but those sunset, sunrise times are going to help you out quite a bit with getting other stations into your logbook on this frequency. Thank you to everyone for jumping on tonight. As always, appreciate you. Don't forget, after now, we got 7 episodes left, wrapping up on May 1st, so make sure you enjoy the medium wave DX here as much as possible, and see if you can add some new ones in the log so we can throw some unpoppable balloons your way as well. 73, my friends, best of DX. Again, thank you all for your support. You mean so much to me. Thank you. This whole channel would be pointless without you. So thank you to every one of you who joins our live streams, who joins in the chat, who talks about us in the social media, on the Facebook groups and everything else, or in the club bulletins, and kind of spreads the word. You are the reason why we're here. So thank you so much. I can't express enough how much your support means to all of us, myself, my wife, my family, all of us here at DX Central. So thank you so much for that. 73, my friends, best of DX. Good luck on the challenge this week, and we'll catch you next time right here from the North Shore Studios in Mandeville on DX Central Live. Take care.